La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra ya contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Ey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí. Baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido contigo. Pasándome contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot.
Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Friday. Thank goodness. The weekend is here. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. Let's get to it because there's a lot to get to. More updates on this Bali thing. And I want to circle back to something yesterday because Celeb Bitchy, Kaiser, over at Celeb Bitchy, actually wrote a very good article about this. So I want to revisit it for anybody that missed it yesterday, but she kind of picked up on a few things that I didn't pick up on. I also want to say, I always, because we're not a tabloid around here, try to be balanced in everything that I say. And I was careful to try to be impartial yesterday, but I'm now going to say today that I think that this entire thing is a setup. I think it stinks. I think Miss Dr. Sophie Hammerhead, I think she's playing the game, a very dangerous one that she's going to lose. And I do believe that possibly there are other people involved in this backing her. If not, and it could also be that this is just her ego getting inflated. If not, and this is all just her, then I think she's really tied herself in knots. And you're going to see why in a moment, because a few more things have come out since yesterday. There's also breaking news concerning Charles's health. We'll get into that in a sec. But let's see who's in the chat. Thank you so much to the mods. I think we're definitely going to need the mods. the next couple of days just to make sure William isn't in the chat. Yeah, Rhonda, shout out to Baron for anointing her. OBE, MBE, OBGYN, Hammerhead, Dr. Hammerhead. OBG, MBE, OBGYN, Hammerhead. That's what we're calling her now. Yes, please, thumbs up and do subscribe. There's a lot of you who watch, but you're not subscribed. And make sure to also turn on notifications so you know when I'm going live. Right, first things first. Oh, something annoying. So sorry. So sorry for anyone who's listening to me in earphones, but it's just like everything was going fine, everything was going smooth, and this is why I think that this entire thing is a setup, because there is always something. They always do something. That BS that they tried to pull with Jason Knopf, it didn't even register. They thought they were doing something with this BS 60 minutes down under. I don't know what they thought they were doing with this. And then something else pops up. And now Charles is sick. Every single time. It is a pattern. Like, you all in the palace, in that crusty, dusty palace, you're really not as slick as you think you are. So just to recap, one of the most telling things about this whole debacle was the fact that it came out that Dr. Hammerhead wanted to spend almost $600,000 on this PR firm that she hired. And I don't think was really thinking long term about the way in which she wanted to raise money. I believe Harry gave quite a significant amount of the proceeds from Spare, I think to the tune of about 1.3 million. And like I mentioned yesterday, there is nothing that justifies spending 600,000, even the top PR firms. If you were to have them on a 12-month retainer, you could get a good one for like 100K. Or even less than that. For a prestigious organization like Chandauka, obviously you want quality, but ain't no way you're spending 600,000. That was the first dead giveaway. Also, something that's come out today. Let me get to this. So apparently she went straight to the Charity Commission in the UK. Now the Daily Fail and GB News and CNN are all saying that she also claimed she had reported trustees to the Charity Commission and that the High Court had issued an emergency injunction to prevent her removal. However, Mail Online understands that no injunction was ever granted. And the Daily Fail are searching heaven, earth, and the fifth dimension for any solid evidence that what she's saying is true. And they're now reporting that they understand that no injunction was ever granted. Even GB News are reporting this. CNN, the specifics of the row within the charity are not yet clear, but in her own statement, Dr. Hammerhead appeared to take a swipe at the 40-year-old royal for playing the victim card, so she was referring to Harry. Everything I do at Chandauka is in pursuit of the integrity of the organization, its mission, and the young people we serve, she said in a statement reported by Britain's PA media news agency. Does that include spending 600,000 on consultancy? Is the mission to waste the money on consultants instead of directing the money where it should go? The news agency said she claimed she had reported the trustees to the UK Charity Commission and that a UK court had issued an injunction to stop her dismissal. CNN has not seen a copy of the alleged injunction from the UK's High Court. A source familiar with the matter told CNN that no such order had been issued. So did she actually take this to court, or what's going on here? This all just seems like one giant flying monkey. That's what this seems like. They've sent out the giant flying monkey, fat on envy, to distract from us having a good old time. Meghan selling out pots, jeans, and shoes. As ever is coming. The podcast is coming. So let's start some BS. And now you've got even the Daily Fail asking, what is this woman even talking about? Let me read this from Celeb Bitchy. In the early half of 2024, the Times of London and other British outlets, notably the Daily Fail, were running a full-scale pressure campaign to somehow force Prince Harry to remove himself from the board of African Parks. Harry had been president of African Parks for 6 years. Then he was promoted to board member. While there were genuine controversies involving Africa Parks, the British media did a big stretch to make every single one of those controversies solely about Harry and how he needed to resign from Africa Parks. Suspiciously enough, the Times published a piece adjacent to the campaign about how Prince William and Harry always fought about Africa. Oh yeah, because Africa is William's thing. And William didn't like how Harry had access to all of that money and power. It felt like William was behind the way the Africa Park stuff was covered. And I wouldn't be surprised. There's no reason why William can't do anything in Africa if he wants to. Not that Africa is actually asking. But there's no reason why he can't do any charitable fundraising for any project that he wants to do. The problem William has is he does not have the charisma and pull that Harry has, especially now that Harry is with Meghan. That's William's problem. It's not that he can't do anything. He just doesn't have the popularity and pulling power. And he wants Africa all for himself. He wants the whole of Africa for himself. Anyway, I decided to take that trip down memory lane because I'm getting deja vu with the Chandauka mess. I mean, it does feel like something coordinated to mess up Harry's charitable efforts on the continent. And what is William's obsession with Africa specifically? Commonwealth is huge. I guess, I mean, we messed up so much in the Caribbean, lost Jamaica, so now we're just going to obsess over Africa. I mean, you should have thought about that before you showed up to Jamaica rolling around in colonizer cosplay on a Jeep. Long story short, Chandauka's board of trustees didn't agree with the direction of their chairwoman. She refused and ran straight to the Charity Commission in the UK to sue them. This week, the patrons of Chandauka resigned in protest, taking the side of its trustees. The Daily Mail's Becky English, listen to this, the Daily Mail's Becky English bizarrely gloated about the situation. Why are you gloating about vulnerable young people who are benefiting from these services losing that money because of one selfish woman? Daily Mail's Becky English bizarrely gloated about the situation, suggesting that it would never have happened if Harry was still a working royal. If Harry was still a working royal, Chandauka would not have the prestige and money that it had continued to get up until this point. Because if Harry was still in the fold, they would have tried to little by little destroy everything he has. The fact that he still wants to be with Meghan. They probably would have tried to destroy Chandauka well before any of this debacle ever happened. Harry would have nothing if he was still a working royal. They were keeping that man on a string. Meghan came in and made his light shine brighter. In yesterday's coverage, I used some coverage of Sophie's statement, but here it is in full. I'm going to go over the statement again. She said that she had been guided by the principles of fairness and equitable treatment for all, regardless of the social status or financial means. There are people in this world who behave as though they are above the law and mistreat people, then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. Obviously, here she's referring to Harry. Dr. Hammerhead added that this is the story of a woman who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance, weak executive management, abuse of power, bullying, harassment, misogyny, misogynoir, and the cover up that ensued. She also went on to say that her work with the charity was not a vanity project from which I can resign when I am called to account. You actually can. I mean, they wanted you gone anyway, so go. I will continue to faithfully perform my role as chair of the board, and I look forward to the opportunity to work with others who are interested in issues of health, wealth, and climate resilience for young people in Africa, she added. Now, Kaiser goes on to make this very interesting point. Then play the victim card and use the very press they disdain to harm people who have the courage to challenge their conduct. Like, was her statement written by Piers Morgan or something? I mean, doesn't it sound like it was? Kaiser makes a very good point there. We're talking about a charity which provided healthcare for kids and HIV. When has Harry played the victim card ever, but specifically about Bale or his work in Lesotho? This woman sounds completely delulu. The story of a woman who dared to blow the whistle about issues of poor governance and executive management and abuse of power. She is the one with the power. She is the chairwoman. She is the weak executive. She is the one poorly governing. Exactly. She was given a position of power and she failed at it. Another thing that I want to mention, because a lot of people are saying, oh, she had all these credentials. There's a certain type of corporate ladder climber that is actually well, some can be very good at their jobs, some maybe not so much, but they manage to they have such charisma, presence, they're very good talkers, they're very slick with their mouths, and they chase titles in order to obviously pump up their CV, their reputation, but they can often leave a trail of toxic energy behind them, and people are sometimes scared to speak up or say anything, and so they manage to keep their reputations intact. I do not believe that this woman just started acting like this when she came to Bale or recently. I wouldn't be surprised if there are people who worked with her at previous companies who start coming out and also start saying something. There's no way she started behaving this way just now. A few more things. Sophie was the woman bullied lol by Meghan at the polo match last year. Yes. So this is referring to this incident here. And when this first happened, the Daily Fail and other tabloid media tried to spin this as Meghan bullying her. Meghan politely asked her 2 or 3 times to move into the middle. And instead of her listening, the first time Meghan asked her, she's trying to hog the cup. I don't know where she was taking it. And she's also trying to get in between Harry and Meghan. Harry's not letting go of his wife. It honestly would not surprise me if this completely delulu woman thought that maybe she had a chance with Harry, because her body language, even here in this picture and at the polo match, was weird as hell. Clearly, people had an issue with her even then. But yes, this was the incident where the Daily Fail back when ago was accusing Meghan of bullying this crazy lady. If you actually watch the footage, Meghan literally, she very politely just says, "Would you like to stand in the middle? Would you like to stand in the middle?" In a very soft voice. She doesn't raise her voice at all. Yeah, the bullying incident was when the so-called bullying incident was when they were all taking photos with the polo team, and Hammerhead thought she would stand on Prince Harry's right side, and Meghan said, "Do you want to come and stand over here?" Motioning to her left. That was the big drama, which was amplified by the British royalists. Lastly, CNN covered the Centre Bale mess, and they noted this. Britain's PA Media news agency said Hammerhead claimed she had reported the trustees to the UK's Charity Commission and that a UK court had issued an injunction to stop her dismissal. CNN has not seen a copy of the alleged injunction from the UK High Court. A source familiar with the matter, told CNN that no such order had been issued. So she lied about the injunction? Did she lie about the injunction? What else is she lying about? Who's helping her lie? Is there anyone helping her lie? Ugh. Oh, what an interesting web we weave. What an interesting web we weave. Sussex VC saying, I am usually the biggest champion of black women, but I can't support you if you try to succeed by taking something that belongs to someone else, then trying to destroy them. She's so highly accomplished. She could have started a charity with her vision and worked alongside Harry. Yeah. No one can convince me that this woman isn't a shill and a plant installed by people with a vested interest in taking over and taking credit for something they didn't create or nurture. Let's hope Miss Karma will do her job in good time. Oh, yeah, it comes to them every single time. Chandauka should know better, actually, being a woman of the ancestors. So she's going to get it double time whenever it comes for her. But why? Oh, yes, the UK Prince Willie, Africa is mine, incandescent with rage, the Prince of Pagan, the jealous, good for nothing future king, and Charles the Cruel. Tampon kin are at it again, waging endless wars against Prince Harry. Good King Harry for marrying Meghan and leaving the UK. And living well. That's why I think all this nonsense partly is happening now, because the timing is just so off. Meghan just dropped this today, by the way. Production line videos of As Ever. Listen, whoever is doing the As Ever website, just put that stuff on pre-order. Just put it on pre-order. They're about to try and upthrow this entire launch with something. I just feel it coming. Just put the jam on pre-order. The jam and the sprinkles. Just put it on pre-order. We don't have to wait for launch day before they do something messy. I hope everyone in the palace is sleeping with an eye open. Make your own tea. Make your own tea and make your own food. And sleep with an eye open. Because they're really trying something to cause a distraction. It's so obvious. Goodness, what else are they gonna, pull out of their bums tomorrow? Did one of the corgis died? We're gonna have front page news about how one of the corgis died, and Meghan can't release her jam because we have to mourn that one of the corgis died. They're gonna pull something. I don't know what they're gonna pull, because they had the audacity to try it again with this stupid Jason Knopf nonsense, and now here we are. Here we are, maybe less than a week from us getting our jam, and we're talking about some Dr. Hammerhead and something going on with Santa Barley. You can't make this up. In other breaking news, literally in the last hour, from Buckingham Palace. This was strictly embargoed. Following scheduled and ongoing medical treatment for his cancer this morning, the king experienced temporary side effects that required a short period of observation in hospital. His Majesty's afternoon engagements were therefore postponed. His Majesty has now returned to Clarence House, and as a precautionary measure, acting on medical advice, tomorrow's diary program will also be rescheduled. His Majesty would like to send his apologies to all those who may be inconvenienced or disappointed as a result. So yeah, that came out in the last hour from Buckingham Palace. Yeah. I don't really have anything to say about that. Or rather, I don't really have anything nice to say, so I'm not going to say anything at all. That's the statement from Buckingham Palace. Yeah, I didn't have anything else. I actually didn't have anything else to say. I feel like I ranted about all I wanted to rant about. So we'll just go to your comments and call it a day. Meghan's jam is coming, and that's the most important thing. Thank you so much, Connie. Look at her history. She was a plant for the royal family. Well, she does have an honor. Now, some people have been saying that she went to Earthwork. To be honest, I haven't actually seen a picture of her there with William. People have been saying that, but I haven't seen a picture or any evidence that she was actually there. Did she tweet about it or um so yeah, people have been saying that she was there at Earthworm and her honor, and the fact that she has a history of being involved in hostile takeovers. And that part of her Wikipedia entry was actually edited. Now, if you go to Wikipedia, you can go to the history of entries. That entry is actually still there. I think you just go to the entry, the first entry that you see in the history, that is 2025. It's still there. And she's clearly trying to clean up her nasty footprints, exposing her. Took part in hostile takeovers on her last role, and here she is. Yes, Joseph, liar, liar, pants on fire. Dorothy, you said, oh my god, I felt her negative image during the polo match. She was jockeying for a position during that photo op. Yeah. I mean, when someone shows up to an event like that and tries to make it about themselves and tries to center themselves, it tells you a lot, because it's not about you. It's about the organization. There are some people who are very addicted to titles. They don't actually care about the job. I've met people like this. So I feel like I kind of know what this woman's psychology is. They will play all kinds of games. I've met some Sophies in my life. Greg, you said, I believe she wanted Harry and Meghan, and Harry was onto her. I believe she was a plant. Maybe. Because this amount of upheaval, not just with Ballet, but now that this is all kind of happening as we're leading up to Meghan's launch. Well, you know what, William, if you're listening on your burner account, I don't care what you do. I do not care what you do. None of us care what you do. We will be buying that jam. We will be buying the pots. We will be celebrating the launch of Azeva. We will be sprinkling our donuts with the edible flowers or whatever Meghan gives us. It's not stopping the train. You will go and pull whatever it is you want to pull. We don't care. We don't care. If London Bridge is falling down, or we will still be eating Meghan's jam. Do your worst. We've been putting up with your BS for the last 8 years. What you gonna do now? You said Dr. Hammerhead needs to pay her karma fee. Indeed, her karma fee and the 600,000 that she wasted on a consultancy firm that could have gone to those vulnerable children. Thank you so much for that donation. Rohini, I am seeing a criminal investigation coming down. Harry is smart and his lawyers are good. Yeah. I think she is really in trouble. Little Mac Rohini, I think she split the 60k fee with this agency. Nothing is worth 60k to find new revenue sources, given Harry gave the charity 1.5 million from spare. Exactly. And with all those credentials at all these big companies, you couldn't find some executives with some rich friends or something to give you some money for Prince Harry's Centre Ballet, Diana's sons, Centre Ballet? Delusional lady. But Tomato, you said, I haven't been this angry since Jason Roth handed over the tabloids' partial emails between Jason and Meghan. Indeed. Yeah, they can try all they want. They will never stop Harry and Meghan. Never stop. We are too smart for these games now. Yes, Black Queen. Meghan should march on with her launch, regardless of what those demons do. We aren't stopping our lives for them. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Absolutely not. Do your worst. London Bridge will follow. We will still buy jam. I'm getting my... I don't care which bridge falls, which tower falls, who gets ill. I'm buying my jam and sprinkles. You will not steal my joy. You won't break my soul. You haven't managed to do it for the last 8 years. What didn't you do to bury me? But you forgot that I was a seed. That's how Meghan ended archetypes. Just trying to see other comments before we wrap up. Oh yeah, just a reminder, Squatty Hooks has doubled sales until Easter Sunday. So if you order from Squatty Hooks, you'll get double the joy. Wendy, you said the Pope turned down meetings with Charles. A bad look. Now all of a sudden Charles is sick. Listen, I said I had nothing nice to say, so I'm not saying anything at all. Cynthia, you said William can't get evicted, so he wants what Harry has. Yeah. His smile and wave here and there isn't enough anymore. He wants the whole of Africa. Because Africa is his, not Harry's. Oh yeah, don't forget Meghan's podcast actually drops on the 8th. We have the trailer. Go on whatever platform you stream podcasts on and listen to the trailer. Yeah, we'll be jamming in the name of the Lord. No weapons formed against our jam and sprinkles will prosper. All right, I'm gonna wrap things up there. Thank you so much, folks, as always. Yeah, I think the truth will come out. I mean, remember how long it took for us to get the truth about the whole Jason North and his part in, leaking Meghan's letter, and we had to do a whole court case. And I mean, hopefully we won't have to do any of that nonsense this time, but the truth will come out. Always does. And with that, have a fantastic day. Let's dance our way out.
La noche se acabó, pero tengo otra vez contigo. Le doy gracias a Dios, siempre pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Siempre lo pasamos bien lindo, lindo. Un verano contigo lindo, lindo. Hey. Me fui de vacaciones, baby, me perdí, buscando el sabor que encontré en ti. Canela con dolor de Bacardi, lo sentí, baby, me tiene desenfocado, viendo doble, bien borracho, demasiado jodido. Devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama. Tú y yo, un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito lleno de alcohol, tomar un shot por ti, un shot para mí, un shot. Un día bonito, bonito, un día bonito, bonito. Pasándolo contigo en la playa, devorarte como el sol de la mañana, viajando todo el día sin drama, solo tú y yo, un día bonito.